Good morning. It is an honor to be sitting with someone whose name is synonymous with discipline, excellence, and precision. Ray Allen is not just a two-time NBA champion, he's also a 10-time All-Star and known to be one of the greatest shooters in the history of the game. But beyond the court, Ray Allen is also a philanthropist, author, and advocate, someone who's dedicated his life to making an impact off the hardwood as well. As a young Rwandan woman, passionate about seeing how our contribution can bring long-term value to our communities, I'm especially excited to speak with someone who understands what it takes to commit to something greater than yourself. Today, I hope to explore his mindset, his discipline, and his purpose that have carried him through his highs and lows. And hopefully, we can get to learn how we can apply that to our own growth. Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Allen. Over the past couple of days, you had the opportunity of experiencing Rwanda's most profound and powerful places. You had a chance of visiting the Genocide Memorial in Kigali, the golf course. You went trekking with the gorillas. My question is, what went through your mind, as well as with your family, because you had the opportunity of doing that with them, as you witnessed Rwanda's layered past?
Just being a world away, just having this understanding of, what this country was, who it was, past events. I was so interested in traveling here. I love traveling, and I love, seeing new people. I always say that planes are time machines, because when the plane lands and the gate opens and you walk out, you see faces that were different from when you walked onto the plane. And so here, because I love history and understanding and learning kind of the conflict that exists in this country, people are always doomed to repeat history when they don't learn from it. So going to the Genocide Museum, it just brought all those feelings back that I had when I was in college, and I remember everything that had taken place. But being here on the ground, it's just, I said it yesterday when we traveled the 2 hours to go see the gorillas, how such tragedy could take place over such vast
Short amount of time.
distances,
Yes.
with so many people. It's always about when people start to buy into the hate and to the separation of ideologies and even religions. And what I've learned since I've been here, just how kind the Rwandan people are. I felt even that same sense of kindness when I spent time with the gorillas. Like, you have this understanding or belief that they're aggressive or that they're even hostile. They're violent. But you sit there and they just stare at you, and they eat, and they just welcome you in your home, and sometimes they'll tap you. They're so peaceful and so kind. Even when we saw the silverback wasn't aggressive. I'm sure, just like any one of us, if you violated something in our perimeter, our family, then you're going to feel our wrath. And that's when you come in peace, somewhere you feel peace. And being here, I've only felt peace. The people have been so kind. The country is so beautiful. Just even when I landed at nighttime, I saw the difference. Just, you could see the hills.
The air.
Yeah, the air, the climate is so free and arid. And so whenever I travel, I always try to encourage people to travel to the places that I've gone, because it always gives you perspective.
Absolutely.
Travel, coming here, it helps when people with racism, it helps with just education and knowing that I don't have the world cornered on how to live. And my way is not always the right way, it's just a way.
Exactly.
And being here is just, you just accept just however it is, and you just kind of fall into the culture.
Yes, I think that was a great way of putting it. And you were saying how sweet and kind people are in receiving guests, but like you mentioned, you came with grace, and we received you with grace. And I want to jump into our second question. Let's talk a bit about the game. Your game tying three-pointer on Game 6, 2013. That's a moment that is forever going to be spoken about. But something that you've mentioned pretty frequently, it wasn't just luck. It was preparation. It took years of, properly positioning yourself, practicing, discipline. What separates those who are merely good to those who are hungry for greatness? Because that's the aura that you pursued to the people that come across you.
People that are good or something, that are good at something,
Yes.
are a lot of times they have focus and commitment, but they're also directed towards goals and rewards. Mm-hmm. When you're great, when you become an all-time great at whatever it is, whether it's sports or business, mm-hmm. you're not goal-oriented as much as you're trying to be a disruptor. You're trying to create change. Mm-hmm. You're trying to have impact for a lifetime. Mm-hmm. So people will celebrate the great things you do, but they'll also say how you changed the way people did business, how you changed the way people thought, how they lived for the good. And that's when greatness is really in the question. So being able to show up and be counted on, it's about a lifetime of work, being consistent. It didn't always work out the way I wanted. I missed plenty of shots mm-hmm. in my career. But you never talk about the ones that you miss.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I always want kids to know, is that there's only two outcomes: you make or you miss in sports. You win or you don't win. Mm-hmm. And when you don't win, doesn't mean you lose. That just means you learned. Mm-hmm. So even when you win or you lose, you're always winning, because in both scenarios you hope to learn something. Mm-hmm. And when you're winning, where the score is more for you than the other team, doesn't mean that you're the best. It just meant you won that night.
Absolutely.
So it always keeps you level-headed and always keeps you humble, mm-hmm. and know that you have to continue to strive for greatness, which is, how do you become a disruptor, for a generation, where kids are watching. Mm-hmm. How do you grow kids and get them to do it the right way?
Right. Do you celebrate your small wins? Because you're very goal-oriented, and small wins are part of, even the losses, right? Mm-hmm. How do you take time to acknowledge those and have those kind of pump you towards the end?
Well, it's self-reward. Mm-hmm. Every time you experience some task, there's a reward in it. Yeah. There's a goal that you've accomplished. Mm-hmm. Simple as taking out the trash. Yeah. You did something mm-hmm. that created something that made the kitchen better, the family better, and you've accomplished a goal that nobody has to accomplish. Mm-hmm. Something that every kid, every single day, can accomplish. Yeah. Making your bed in the morning, that's your first win. Yes. So you wake up in the morning, most people just get up and they rush out the door, and they go and they leave their bed unmade. Mm-hmm. That's the first win you don't get. Mm-hmm. So you have to find ways to always create opportunity where your confidence is brewing, because you're doing things that are affecting your life in a positive way. Taking the grocery cart back at the grocery store, that's a win for me.
That's a good one.
Because my car is way over there and I had to walk all the way back, because we tend to tell ourselves, I'm busy, I'm in a rush. Mm-hmm. Takes you 2 to 5 minutes mm-hmm. to take it back. That's a win. Mm-hmm. And when you start changing your life around in those small ways, those small wins add up.
Absolutely. I wanted to wish you a happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
You celebrated a milestone year, 50, in Rwanda. My question is, what are you taking back with you? And not just in terms of memory, but perspective and mindset from your experience out here.
Just a sense of peace.
Sense of peace.
When a person turns 50, everybody assumes that you got to have this huge birthday bash and party, and those are great. You spend time with people that you love and forever friends. But to have perspective, just to have peace and solitude and clarity, that's what Rwanda has provided for me being here. For my 50, I didn't feel like I was kind of beating myself up trying to make a schedule or something that I had to do. And then I spent the time with my family, something they'll forever remember. Absolutely. When they're long gone. And it's a tradition that kids take on for themselves. They start doing the things that we do for them, good and bad. And so I always have to remember my behaviors around them and try to keep, solid and disciplined in front of them, because I know they're mirroring, my activities. So to want to spend time with them and share this moment with them, it just kind of gives them a foundation for their life.
Absolutely. And 50 never looked better, I have to
Yeah,
say
thank
that. So before our chat today, you had an opportunity of interacting with young up-and-coming athletes, Rwandans to be exact. What advice would you give them for them to keep going? Obviously, we've invested in infrastructure. You had a chance of visiting Amahoro Stadium, Petit Stade, you're now in the BK Arena. Infrastructure is one part, but what can you advise to the people that are also contributing to the greatness of our young athletes to be great and for their greatness to also carry on off the court?
Competition it's amazing.
Yes.
Finding competition. For the young people in this community, it's important for them to find who has that like mind. Where are the best basketball players at? Find them. Be inspired by their goodness to greatness. Don't be afraid of it, because the competition is what's going to allow you to see your best self. The resources, as you see, as I've seen here today and this week, they're there for the kids, and just trying to figure out a way to rally that together, and the kids take the leadership and the ownership.
Yes.
Because there's only so much the government can do, and the elder population and the parents. Like, kids now have to say, we are the future of this country, and who is going to take the reins and say, I'm going to lead? We talked earlier about infrastructure, outdoor basketball courts, access for kids, at young ages, just to be able to play basketball. In America, you see courts everywhere. And in the same token, you see a lot of empty courts everywhere. Our kids, I feel like, are becoming less and less active, basketball-wise. And that has a lot to do with video games, with social media, with the internet. So just understanding that the access, the ability to travel, to grow, to become a college athlete or a professional athlete, it's not an insane dream to have. And it's just important for them to know that it is attainable. And for these young people in Rwanda, it's so great to be able to say, I can do this, and I can lead my country, and I can be the first raised and born from my country to be drafted #1 in the NBA or top 5 in the NBA or in the WNBA or even in the NFL. Like, there's such a limitless opportunities for these kids. But we just have to, as parents and as people who have been there, just have to show them, it's not, you don't have to be a special individual, or it's not a complicated process. It's just about keeping them committed to the process.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing your insights and for visiting our country. And we hope to see you very soon.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you.